Okay, hi everyone. So this is Koinzell here. Today I'm going to do a guide on the desert temples. So what I'll do is I will do the highest tier or each of the type of the temple. So I can show you guys how it's like. And basically, you after each of the tier, right? After each of the lower the tier, it just means that the CPU requirement is lower. That's all. But there is a specific series of temples that is different, which is the side scroller platform one. The different tier actually have different routes available. There are hidden routes throughout. So I will do a separate video on that. So as you can see, this actually incorporates the strongest characters I have here. In fact, it auto follows my previous Path of Glory setup. After it follows, right, if you change your Path of Glory setup, it wouldn't follow. So you'll see the reason why my Reaper is not here and instead my Titan is here. The rest of it is pretty much the same. Okay, so this is tier 5 of the family, so-called family temple, where you need to send your whole family in. The name is Luinus, maybe. If I do a literal translation, maybe Luinus. Okay, so let's go in and enjoy the temple. Yeah, they like to do a cool entrance for you. Okay, so you see my Path of Glory characters are here. Pretty much for me, it's just auto attack all the way. It's very straightforward. My CP is really much higher than the whatever the map has. But I will change to boss because there will be a boss fight later. Boss pet. Okay. So you see that the CP, right? There's sort of a balance effect here. So it takes me quite it's quite fast for me to kill, but if your CP is lower, then yes, it will take a bit of time. But it's still not so bad. Not sure how the CP skills here, but I remember it not taking too long when it was higher than my CP. Now once you reach the center here, you're supposed to click this, and you will activate the boss. In some of the lower tier, right, it may not activate the boss. The stage may just end just like that. I can't remember which of the lower tiers it is. So this summon this boss, Ruins Judge, yeah. So you effectively just beat him down with your all 6 family members. Now bear in mind my CP is much higher than the requirement of the temple. Temple requirement is 62k. Mine is almost double. So that is why he dies before I can even show you guys the use of the two glowing orbs you see earlier, which is the yellow one and the purple one. Basically what happens is that they will use, the boss will use some kind of skill, which based on the color of the skill that is using, you need to go to the corresponding color to click, that's all. And by the way, this is a terrible result for a tier 5 temple to give me a yellow instead of orange. So it's quite bad. It's like the worst result I can give. Okay, so 3,600 Elena currency, which is not a lot, but still it's very fast considering how fast the temple takes for us to clear. Okay, so now I'm going to skip ahead to the next temple. Okay guys, the next temple is here, the next tier 5 temple. I just wanted to touch briefly on the mounts that you can do in Desert Survivor. So the mounts here, by default you can get a camel. The better ones will be the elephants. So probably I can do a separate one on that when I run through the desert shop. Separate video on that when I run through the, not really the desert shop, but more like the Battlefield of Sun, the glory tokens that you get from it. It can be used to buy elephant mounts that can be used in Desert Survivor. Okay, so this is the 5th dungeon for the boss rush mode. Sorry, not boss rush. The tower defense mode. To be exact, actually, it's a shrine defense. You are literally defending a shrine, and the best possible reward is to get the damage reduction. This always gives you damage reduction rune. It's just a matter of the grade. And obviously, ping rune is super rare, I don't think anyone has gotten it so far, not that I know of. Okay, so I'm not greedy, I just want an orange one, so that at least I have a few oranges that I can try to merge to get a red. If, of course, if I can get a red, even better. If I can get a pink, that is like, that's almost like getting a alchemy stone in the void alchemy stone in the Path of Glory. Okay, so this is the shrine that we are supposed to defend, or rather the relic actually. So you'll see the doors opening and the mobs will start rushing in from the 3 doors. Of course, the starting is really easy because the first wave is like it's just Naga, the desert Naga. That's literally their name if I translate. Do a literal translation. You see that the damage they do is not that high also. The more mobs there are alive, the more the bar will drop. Once the bar drops to 0, you feel the quest. So there are 3 waves in total in this temple. Okay. Now my bar here is full. What this means is that later on I can use the relic to attack the enemies. I don't really need it, but I will do it just to show you guys. But you'll see that the second wave is much harder as it starts to go below 50%. Okay, let me use it now because the elite monster has spawned. There is a relic there is a whips that you can defeat to gain more of the relic energy, which was what I just did just now. Just that it's off screen because the auto attack. Okay, I have the boss pet equipped, that's why the boss drops this fast. Not to mention that the required CP for this has actually been dropped. In the past it was higher, now it's only 13.2k. But you'll see that the last wave, the mobs are much tougher. Okay, the elite has spawned from the map, so that's why I've used the relic power. But technically speaking, right, actually because this is the last wave, right, the other way to do it, right, is that I could have saved it until the last boss. But if you see clearly, I have actually timed it perfectly such that my bar is actually increased again to full. And now I can just use this and kill the boss. So it's like really simple. With the right amount of CP, of course. Oh my god, this is terrible. We only got a purple rune. Huh, maybe they dropped the rates. In the past, it was always purple rune. There was a period where they gave us like minimum yellow rune, and now we got a purple rune again. So we got 40k relic fragments from this, which is very nice. This is pretty much standard at tier 5. Okay. It's loading. Okay, so let me skip ahead to the next tier 5 dungeon. Okay, we are the next tier 5 dungeon, which is the boss one, the one where you just simply fight a boss that is actually the same design as the desert boss in the infield map. So this one gives you a chance of getting the bonus PV damage, a better rune of it. Let's hope we get something like orange rune, because the last two has been yellow and purple, which is honestly quite bad. So your Black Spirit always likes to talk to you for each of the temple instance. And look at him, what's he doing? He's telling you to go and touch the gem, and once you touch the gem, then the boss gets activated. And Black Spirit is never helpful, honestly speaking. Both in the story and in terms of doing enhancements, etc. Especially synthesis. Okay, I'm not skipping this for the sake of you guys. Usually, of course, I skip them. Okay, let's have a battle with the boss. This is the tier 5 version of the boss. There are 4 more tiers before him, and the other 4 tiers, right, obviously is even easier. What happened with my character? Why did it start attacking? Okay. So this is really easy. The Grand Temples, right, will have stronger bosses. I'll probably do a separate video on the Grand Temples. Oh my god, purple again. And 600 boss stamps. Same 3600 Elena currency, the desert currency. Okay, so that marks the end of 3 of the tier 5 temples. Okay, what I want to talk about is if you see from the temples here, right? Basically, only 3 specific type of temples have up to tier 5, which is the 3 that I've just shown you guys. The family one, the boss one, as well as the relic defense. So now the remaining temples, right, they only have 3 difficulties each. So that gives you 3 times 3, 9, plus the 5 times 3, 15. 9 plus 15 is 24. And you have another 3 more added because of the 3 grand temples that you can do. So the total is 27. As of now, I've cleared 9 of them. So I'll skip ahead to the next tier 3 temple. Okay, guys, now we are at the Turtle Temple. The highest tier of it, as you can see, is actually a new temple, so that's why the CP requirement is one of the highest here that we see so far, 20k. And the rune that we can get is the branch damage rune. So obviously I want a AL rune and a better grade one, at least a orange grade. And it gives Lightstone Fragment as well, most likely 40,000 too. So let's give it a go now. So the concept of fighting this temple, right, is to destroy him before he activates his attacks. Once you destroy him, his attacks will stop. I mean, destroy one part of it. One of his body part, his attacks will stop. So if your CP is high enough, this is not that big of a challenge. And there's also a time factor here. But this on the other hand, we need to avoid. Okay. After this, I think there's still an inner core to defeat. Yep. So just nice that I'm in between the lasers. So it actually shows you the tier of the rewards that you can get as the more you destroy him. Okay, so we got the final reward, which is the 7th one. Okay, I'm not going to skip for you guys to see. It's just showing you how grand of a price that you are getting. Okay. Oh wait, that's the wrong direction. Okay, so let's go in. Oh, it auto opens now. Please give me something good. Oh my god, it's purple again. Oh, and the relic, the Lightstone Fragment is only 14k. Okay. The currency is more, 4,300. Okay, so after this, right, I will do one more of the tier 3 temple, which is the one that I mentioned is doing the foraging, all the different types of foraging to spawn more of the bosses for you to get even more materials. Okay, so after that temple, I'll end the video because the side-scrolling temple will probably need a video by itself where I do all 3 to show you guys the difference, as well as the different routes that you can take. Okay, so let me skip to that. Okay, we have found the last tier 3 temple, the highest tier temple for this. Xingya, maybe what it can mean is like growing root or plant. So if you see here, right, the reward for this is actually very different. What you get is eternal currency, enhancement bloodstones, 4 enhancement bloodstones. as well as the breaths, that you get from foraging. So there was some there were questions previously from my viewers, how do we get breaths in the late game? This is how we get it. It actually gives quite a nice amount of it. So let's start the quest itself. And bear in mind that I already have we already have the wardrobe system. So effectively, we're already using the ant costume, the ENT costume. So that's the one that gives you the bonus to foraging. You definitely should wear it when you are doing this particular instance or dungeon. Okay, so it's very straightforward. Keep spamming. Keep spamming and doing as many of the foraging as you can. Take a look at the map so you know which is the path to take, which is the optimized path. So obviously I'm going to go one round like this. Because you can't just go in the inner island, it wouldn't respawn fast enough for you to forage. And you notice that my foraging is much faster because I have the Life Plus as well as the ENT costumes effect on due to the wardrobe system. Okay, so we go back to here. So you see there is a tier bar here that shows X1, X2, X3. This is basically the number of bosses that you will summon, or rather mini boss, because it's very weak. The whole point is to summon as many as possible, and it's not easy to get them all 5, even if you have the Life Plus as well as the ENT costume. You still need to make sure that 0 time is wasted as you forage. So now we have managed to get 2 of them. That's a dead end, so I'm not going there. The path ahead is good. You can see that there's quite a few items for us to forage. Okay, real overshot. That's bad. Okay, we have 43 seconds left and only reaching almost 4. We may not be able to complete this in time. I think better go this way. Okay, here I'm going to just do the inner circle because I only have 25 seconds left. It's more efficient to do the inner circle. Probably more efficient if I had went the other way also. That's okay. We may be able to make it. Barely make it. Oh, I think we can't. We are very close. See whether this completes. Oh, this still doesn't give us 5. Unfortunately, we miss it by a hair's breadth. So we only summoned 4 of the bosses. Probably because there was a bit of lag just now when I was clicking. So you see there's only 4 of them, but it's fine. And you see that as you hit them, right, you get the breaths, the force enhancement crystals, as well as the inner currency. Sorry, there's a bit of a lag. I'm not sure why. I actually don't have anything else turned on. Okay, never mind. Bear with it. That was this is the 3rd one. Sorry. Okay. We have time to kill the last one. Still have 8 seconds. Why is it so laggy? I mean, did you have any problem fighting the desert boss earlier, doing the desert boss video? Okay, so I apologize for that lag. Okay, so this is the rewards we have gotten from this foraging dungeon. So from the boss, right, these are the items that we have gotten from hitting him. Sorry, these two plus these three. These are the items that we've gotten from the boss. So it's not too bad, the 4 bosses. And then you have all the materials that we have foraged. So this is how in the late game your foraging skill level gets up as well. Okay, let me just show my foraging skill levels before I end the video. I'll do a separate video for the Grand Temples and a separate video for the side-scrolling temple. Okay, so my level, as you can see here. So you see that the 3 foraging levels, right, is already at red, whereas the fishing is still at yellow, and the excavation, which is very new, this is the one that you get when you get Desert Survivor, is at blue, level 8. So that dungeon is actually the best way to pump up your foraging levels. Alright, so I hope this temple guide is helpful to you guys in terms of all the different guides that we get in the Desert Survivor mode and some tips and tricks over here. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. See you guys next video. Bye.